No, I was just checking. I was just checking. Okay, ma'am. Now, reading skill 2.
Yes, ma'am. Number digit
Okay.
is written.
Okay. Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay. Now we are all set to move ahead.
Okay, ma'am.
PPT. Antu, ma'am, yeah, I'm playing your PPT. Now you can start your session.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Morning, beautiful people. Hope you feel chirpy and the day begin on a nice note for you. Today's session is on the practical aspects of teaching skills of reading. It's great to meet you again. Early bird gets the worm. So those who have joined us in time need not wait for rest of the people to join. They can join us when they are comfortable. Before I begin, there is a request from my side. Can I have two volunteers just to help me out for a very chat box? Write thumbs up or yes or something. Okay. Is there anyone who is able to? Yes. Okay. Geetika ma'am and Uma ma'am. Thank you very, very much. And it is a simple activity. Obviously, all we have to do is related to the theme reading, and either we have to speak or read. Thank you. Thank you for helping me out. Now, all of Geetika ji, sorry, thank you, Geetika ji and Uma. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. I hope I will take your services somewhere later on in this activity. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Now, Geetika ma'am, for this activity, you are part. For the same activity, you are partner number 2. Both of you or anyone else, but especially both of you, can look in a big extract from. Now, partner 1 means Geetika ji is for you, and Uma ma'am as partner 2 is for you. Okay. I'm going to write it soon. It seems that I have given only for one. Okay, okay, okay. Just a minute. See. Yeah. Okay. So Geetika ma'am and Uma ma'am. Now, the activity is partner reading. What you have to do, both of you have 3 minutes to read your own portion given in the chat box. Remember, 3 minutes. And read it carefully. Later on, I will clap. It means 3. And then starts. Now, rest of the people, they might not be actively participating, but they will be actively listening as such. So, Geetika ji, Uma ji, if things are clear, please put a thumbs up or a yes in the chat box. Don't worry, your time will start whenever I say so. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Uma ji. I'm assuming Geetika ma'am has also understood. In case Geetika ma'am is not able to, Jyoti ma'am, because you volunteered. Okay. Oh, is it an issue? Today my voice is low. I'm using the same.
No, Antu, ma'am. Yeah, voice is audible, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Hello.
Ma'am, sometimes they do happen, Jyoti ma'am.
Hello.
Who's there? Geetika ji? Okay. checking my things. It seems things are okay. Perhaps there is or network issue from your side. We will at least chaliye. So Geetika ma'am and Uma ji, or in case Geetika ma'am is not able to participate, Jyoti ji, who may be doing partner number two's role. Correct, whatsoever. Umaji, whatsoever is your position, you know it best. Thank you. Okay, Sureshji, you can do the second partner. Lovely people, huh? So many people are willing to help. Thank you. In fact, I'm also not sure who is partner number two. Umaji is partner number one. That's true. Oh, Suyeshi. Okay, Suyeshi, more than welcome. The more the merrier. Time is running. Okay. Tick, tick, one, tick, two, tick, tick, three. Hola, time is over. And done. Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. Okay. Now, once again, may I know Umaji is partner and perhaps Suyeshi is partner too. Is it so?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Right.
partner number 2.
Okay. So both of you are requested to unmute yourself, partner one and two. Correct. Okay. So these two people, partner one and two, kindly unmute yourself.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I didn't understand what you said.
Okay. Partner one is Umaji. Partner two
Yes.
is Suyashiji, isn't it?
Right.
Correct. So you have read one portion which was written in the chat box. That's it up to this point. Nothing else
Yes.
till now.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
don't worry. You are going perfectly correct.
Ma'am, you are not here.
Now, two people who are supposedly the partner and they have read from the same unit quite a bit of large extract within 3 minutes. Congratulations. Pretty good. It seems. Now, the thing is, the portions were large, and each of them read their own version, their own thing. They are ideally not aware what other has read because time was not given. They could have read the other's portion, but I didn't give them the time. Now, the trick is both of them will unmute themselves and Uma ji, who was partner number, tell briefly what she has read and vice versa. Suyeshi ji
Okay.
will tell what she has read. So, in a way, both of them will exchange their knowledge. A large portion of the unit gets covered merely using partner reading for two people. Imagine how much uh, how much can be done if more than two people were involved. But here, ideally, I have given you a symbolic version that partner reading is possible with limited resources and limited people too. Frankly, okay, let's see. Let's see. Our beautiful people are ready. I should not waste their time. So, Sushi ji and Uma ji, kindly unmute yourself. Yes, yes, yes. Garima ma'am unmuted. No, no, no. Garima ma'am it. Nee, Uma ji, please
Yes, ma'am.
tell aloud what was there in your extract. The main idea, the information.
Okay. Okay. In my extract, basically a scene has been described in which a man whose name is, I think, Lencho, and he was just looking at his fields, and he felt that there were flowers around, and he knew that there's going to be a good harvest. So he just wanted that there should be a good shower, a downpour, so that this was the need of that time. And this is what exactly he had observed. And he told his wife or whosoever was there that now we are really going to get some water. So this is here he refers to the rainfall that is expected according to him. So this is the scene.
Hello?
Shall I continue?
Your voice. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Your
Uh,
voice is loud. Yes.
no, Uma ji, it's your choice. Have you covered it or you want to say something more? It's your choice.
No, ma'am, it's just that the basic idea behind this is the man is on a hill and he's looking at the field, and it's a corn field, and he's actually expecting a shower, and he's happy about it.
Excellent, ma'am. Beautifully done.
Thank you,
Now
ma'am.
we come to our second partner, Suyeshi ji. Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
kindly do the same.
Okay. In the Yeah, sure. In the second part, the description has been given about how rain had changed into hailstorms and how it has destroyed the crops. So first he says that a strong wind started to blow, and then along with it, hailstorms were there, and they looked like new silver coins. So description has been given about that. And then Lencho's children, they also ran out and they enjoyed rain, but now gradually he realized that it was getting worse. It was going to harm his harvest, and that all that is described here. It's just the
Both
opposite.
the willing partner.
It is
Thank
just
you.
the
And
opposite of the first paragraph.
yes, quite true. Uh, it was a clever choice.
Yes.
On the same story. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. You got it. Thank you. No, I'm sorry I couldn't involve the other people as because of the time limitations. So now here it as the two are speaking, but others are attentive too. So now I have something in store for you. Well done, Dean. Ideally, to check the to, here we are answering, assuming that all of you have read it. See, uh, if it was an ideal situation and you were on your Zoom or Google network or the breakout rooms were available, you would have done it with a lot of variety and the whole class could
You are not audible, ma'am.
Hello, now am I audible? Suyeshi ji, is it audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay.
Please continue.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Now, what I mean to say here that very beautifully, you both have read the aspect and we have read it. Sorry, we have understood what was the now, randomly one of the people, and they are partners reading. Don't worry, the questions are not tough, and it seems you people are tough cookies. We can throw you any challenge, and you do it very well. So my question is, yourself, if you can. Hello. Um, Farheen Khan, can you unmute yourself?
So, yes, ma'am. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
No, I don't think he is available in the position. So the question goes to Jyoti ma'am. Jyoti ma'am? Hello? Jyoti ma'am? Hello?
You are audible, ma'am.
Okay. Jyoti ma'am, my simple question to you is, what did Lancho hope for? Anything, one word answer, two word answer, you don't have to go in detail. What did
Lands of hope
Lancho hope for?
for rain.
Excellent. Voila. Well done. Now, it was just an example. You could have asked any question to anyone. Thank you, Jyotiji. Why did Lencho say raindrops were like new coins? How did the rain change? Uh, something like that. Now, ideally, it's a mixture of reading and speaking, and I have tried to modify it to the current circumstances. The thing is, time students might not be able to come, you might be using. It might be Zoom, it might be Google Meet, and even if they come, mm, there is no regularity. Then sometimes we think, what can we do? We can only use WhatsApp because the maximum participation might be on certain social medias. It can be WhatsApp or it can be telephonic conversations or something like that. But we don't have to worry. Like, even if you are on a Google Meet or simply WebEx like I am, or if it is a very small group engage in telephonic conversation on any platform, it might be 4 people, 2 people, like that, there is a possibility that you can do this kind of partner reading like I have done these two beautiful people here. Okay, now, so this was one technique of partner reading. Now tell me one thing. Can you guess in which kind of situation partner reading can be used, like larger text or smaller text? Unmute yourself and speak. Anyone. This is open to
I
the
think
house.
I think both ways. I think both ways, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, both ways. Yes, it can be done both ways. It depends on the level of the child. If suppose there is a group which is not a very fast reader or perhaps not very much interested in reading something in English, smaller portion can be given. The portion deliberately selected for you was from class 10 textbook, and a certain standard is expected from that class. So it was a little bit lengthier and perhaps complex. Here, you did very well because obviously it your learning level is much higher. So it's up to you. But usually, partner reading is useful for larger text. It can be done to cover the whole unit. Any story, any other thing like that can be divided into small parts, and each of them have to deal with one small portion at a time. And for other portion, he or she is something which happens every day slowly and gradually. We can't expect everyone to start running a marathon before he or she is capable of taking one step forward on his or her own. So, using the strategies like part possible, easy, and not much planning is required. Only a text which you have selected, which is age appropriate, and simply dividing into small depending on the number of the students you have, and voila, partner reading is done. Hello, I request next slide of PPT please. Tell me one thing while it is going on, how many of your students love to read something in English language? Or do they really love it? Be frank, there is no issue. You can write in the chat box. Might be a good reader in their mother tongue or perhaps in Hindi, but do they like to read in English language? Anything, textbook or any other magazine, story available to them? It depends. Now on the screen, we are seeing one of the few reading skills that day in the previous class we just mentioned, skimming and scanning. Now, right now, when in the partner reading, two of our beautiful partner made it easy for us. They were doing both the scanning and skimming. These two techniques are integral part of our reading writing. See, I would suggest that when next time you are encouraging reading in English, by name, mention these two techniques to your student. There is no harm. They must be knowing what they are doing, because reading in English, reading a piece of work in English is perhaps not very natural so far to them. So you tell them, "Bache, the skimming means reading a text very quickly to find out general idea, topic, or meaning, and scanning is slightly different. It means reading a text quickly to find specific information, for example, some name or the poetic device used, something like that." So if they are aware, they will knowingly use these tools to gather the information. And as everybody knows, not only in daily life, when they appear for exam, an unseen passage comes, many a times our students lose their confidence because reading is not part and parcel of their daily life. So in this way, slowly and gradually, we can boost their confidence. Next slide, please. Oh, yes, a small technical glitch doesn't matter. This is part and parcel of our daily life nowadays. Okay, here. Now, what we are doing, next slide, please. See, reading is a pleasure. So, why devoid our large majority of students pleasure for reading? So, in the next class, we will be telling them that these two are the techniques which might make reading more easier. But yes, consistent practice. That is the key. I request Anamika ji, please change the slide. Okay, now tell me one thing. Why are students seems not that much interested in reading something in English? When you see English is all around them, textbook might not be that interesting for them. They are using devices like mobile, games, and other things. Well, knowingly or unknowingly, the words of English language are there. For example, years ago on the Facebook, there was a word poke, and even though the students are not supposed to join Facebook up till a certain age, I came to know that many students were there on Facebook, and they were much aware of the unusual vocabulary that Facebook was using in those days, perhaps even now. I'm not using it as such. So we have to keep in mind that English is everywhere and not only textbook, which is a tool only. We have to make it interesting. We have to do it by connecting their daily lives to the perspective central text so we can enhance their interest in reading. Next slide, please. Yes, yes. A student should be a smart reader. And he himself, first of all, or she herself, has to decide what kind of reader he or she is and how. That fellow has to ask that how can I become a smart reader? Or right now, am I the one? First thing is, when I read in English, can I make pictures in my head? Can I know what is happening there? Or I can figure out in this portion what is important. See, our smart participant Umaji and Suyeshi ma'am, both of them immediately told the main idea of the portion given to them. So are our children capable of doing it? Looking up the words I don't know. When you read new things, it is but obvious. Unfamiliar vocabulary will be there. So they are able to know for finding the meanings of unfamiliar or, as they say in childish language, tough vocabulary. So for the tough vocabulary, dictionary, asking some elder, or perhaps using their electronic devices, internet, to know the meaning. Plenty of opportunities. Next is a smart reader connects has the he or she knows. See, a in the mobile, the lesser it remains in the bucket. There is so much they already know. And this pandemic has made us familiar that teachers might not be very friendly with technology initially, but most of our students were. And slowly and gradually, sometime with the help of our students, we are also learning a little bit of technology. So here, I will come to that in the next slide. It's interesting. Connecting what I read, stuff they already know. Asking question about what I read. Smart person always questions. See, in every class, how many questions I ask you, and I'm sure you must be doing the same with your own students. So asking questions is very good way, a universal method of learning experiences. From the time of Socrates, it has been going on. Using tips and tricks to help me. See, one of the very common trick which I have told you right now is the child knowingly using the reading strategy to gain information. Skimming, scanning can be the one, or perhaps something else which you might have focused that day. The least. Rereading what I don't understand. People have different pace of understanding, different vocabulary, and different perspective. So it is but obvious sometimes certain portions or certain lines perhaps need revision. Go back to them once again rather than leaving them just like that. If we give them second chance or perhaps third chance, things become much clearer. So this habit has to be cultivated, that rereading the same thing twice or thrice if it is slightly difficult to understand. Great. Now, I would request ma'am to please change the slide. Meanwhile, I'm going to mention one word which, thank you, ma'am, is on the slide also, realia. Realia is one of the very good way to make them interested in reading. And don't worry, whatever I'm saying in this session is not something which is you can call, I'm using lot of words which are in the vocabulary of our student, high funda. You might be using a very basic phone, you might be having not much of you call electronic devices and a large class, but it can be done. It can be done with a very basic phone, smartphone. All you have to do is select real life objects that enable the children to make connection to their own lives, and they try to make sense of new concepts and idea. When I read it for the first time, I said word is easy, realia, attractive also, but the meaning is complicated. Perhaps you also are feeling the same. Now, in case I ask you, that definition of realia is on the board. You can see it in the slide in front of you. Can you mention any example of it in the chat box? Chali, I will start. I'm writing the first example of realia as suppose say a browser. I can't forget yesterday one of the lady mentioned as perhaps. Okay, brochure. Brochure is one example of realia. What else? Can anyone tell? Whatever comes into your mind. Areva. Ink answer. Thank you. Pamphlet. True, true, true. Time to time, we do give them many pamphlet. How to wash their hands. Other things like that. Maps, tickets, menu. Very true. Recipe booklet or recipe. Correct. Lovely. Yes, yes. These are some of the examples, and there are many more. Now, how do we expect that a child is able to read the textbook as fluently as the teacher is? Perhaps not, like majority of you might be feeling. And here we are going to make it easier for him or her and slightly enjoy it too. Later on, perhaps it will become an integral part of his daily life. Yes, a child can enjoy himself or herself in various ways, and reading is one of them. Especially reading in English can open windows to another world. So, next slide, please. Uh, may I request, ma'am, please change the slide. Correct. Now, you lovely people, I hope you have had your breakfast. Otherwise, some of you might feel tempted to order something. Right now, in front of you, I have put up across, like who has said it right now? Menu. So, yes, I had the same idea, ma'am. Haldiram menu card. Have a look at it. This is one of the realia, and most of the time our students are in this position that they visit one of the two of the restaurants there, this realia they face. Now, this is an authentic example. There is nothing made believe about it. Now, what we have to do, change it into a best possible language learning experience. How? Now, this restaurant menu is in front of you. And today, my purpose is to practice ordering a meal at a restaurant by looking at a digitized restaurant menu to order from. Imagine there is a Diwali offer going on for teachers only. Like, we have to think of our community too. Okay. And teachers can order any available dish which is there on the menu, obviously. And the bill should not be more than rupees 150. I repeat, Diwali offer for teachers only, and they can order any available dish, one or two or perhaps more, within the limit of rupees 150 or less, not more than that. Okay, it is a free offer, it has certain limitations. Now, I would request all of you to read it carefully and select two items. And when you score two or one item or whatever, three item, which fulfills the parameter that the main price should be 150 or around 150, not more than that. Please mention the dishes you select in the chat box. See, I have selected. I'm not feeling hungry, but tasty food always attract. So, what to select? Please write in the chat box. Pani puri and pizza, Jyoti ji. Great, great, great. So we have something similar. I myself selected pizza too and aloo tikki. Yes, we are smart people. Very seldom do we get anything for free, and that too the tasty options. Veg grilled cheese sandwich, aloo tikki pani puri. Food connoisseurs people are here. All the teachers of English enjoy food. Pani puri and pizza seems to be favorite choice. Gulistan Jang, or would you offer two plates of aloo tikki? Because offer is for 150. Vidhuji likes Raj Kachori and sandwich. Sure, good choice. What else? Okay. So answer keep on coming and we can see. Now tell me one thing. Possible to do the same activity. Oh, veg noodles. Yes, something slightly different. Correct, correct. Veg noodles. Chole bhature. Suyeshi ma'am. Too, very nice. Matar kulcha. Sorry, ma'am. Are you sure? No need to say sorry. You can use the offer any way you like. Raj kachori, aloo tikki, pani puri, chili paneer with fried rice. Now that is something close to my heart. Very true. Chili paneer, great. So tell me one thing. What are the chances that this kind of activity would draw our students to digital reading? See, teaching reading was never easy. And now in online classes, it has become even more difficult. Okay, masala dosa, beverages. Oh, yes, I know, ma'am, beverages are not there. Limitations. I told you, limited offer. Tell me one thing. Is there a chance that even those students who might run away from the textbook of English, honeycomb or honeysuckle, etc., would pay attention if this activity was conducted online? Simply say yes or no. Nowadays, we have no other option, online classes only. And if we take this activity into our online classes of English language, do you think any response will come? Yes, yes, yes. Sure. Gulistan Jangji, I like your answer, the kind of authority. Definitely. Umaji, thank you. Thank you. So, last night I was thinking very much that practical ideas are there quite a lot. I could play many games, but that was done in the time of offline classes. You can do a lot when student is you are only through online classes, there are certain limitations. So one of this activity might interest them to start reading words in English. And as you know, the more you read, better your vocabulary is. You knowingly or unknowingly pay attention to the sentence structure, grammar items, and the way things are interconnected to each other, and sometimes even the punctuation sign. The funny thing is, there are sometimes students in the class who know or who have a vague idea what punctuation marks are. Like one day I simply asked in class 8, pointing towards the blackboard where I wrote a sentence, towards a full stop. What is it? What is it? Just to check it out. Even though the topic was something else, that punctuation was known to them or not. And the answer was bindi. Funny, but in a way slightly puts a question mark that a full stop has become a bindi. Time to time, we have to check ourselves and our classes too, that where they stand in terms of reading, especially in this language, which is not very, very close to their heart right now. Soon it can be. Okay, thank you. Now, the next slide, please. Next slide, please, ma'am. Okay. Yes. Another reality. Yes. Um, what do you see? It seems that we are still sitting in the same restaurant, Haldiram, the menu of Haldiram we were using earlier too, and it seems to be a tasty milk bottle with a label on it. Not only this milk bottle, in daily life, our children buy lots of snacks, even bread, biscuits, which have food labels on them. And mostly the information written on them is in English. They read it or not, that we have to check. So we can one day, if it is an online class, we can present some examples to them and ask them to read and check their comprehension like we always do. And for example, here, what was the manufacturing date of this milk bottle which you see on your screen? One simple question, manufacturing date. If he or she, it will take him or her some time, and perhaps the picture might not be very clear. I apologize for that. But right now, at least I can see. Can anyone tell me? Yes, Kanika ji, thank you. 18 ninth month, and the year is the past year, 2019. Great. So don't drink it now, don't worry. It's set up as an example only. Okay. Now, these two are one of the very few methods that brings reading to something which makes sense in their practical life. It will take them some time to come back. Now, of the textbook or not, their learning level, that is none of our business. We have to make them realize that reading is essential. Reading in Hindi is good, very nice, but reading in English is another feather into their cap and it will open new doors for them in future. It might be Kanikaji. So we are taken for granted. It might be 10 or 18. Yes, I got it. Here, like I did this activity offline too. That's why I remember. They brought Maggie packets, biscuit packets in the class, and then I asked them particular questions, and they were divided into partners also, and in small groups they ask each other question. Broken English, wrong answer, doesn't matter. The thing is, you incultivate in them or the habit of reading in English. It might be a small step, but the destination is much bigger. Now, for today, I think we are reaching the time you need a break too before you go for another class. So, if there is any question, you can ask me by unmuting yourself or in the chat, or you want to express anything, either a question or any sentiment, agreement, disagreement, anything is welcome. I would rest my case here, and once again we will meet tomorrow to further our sharing of learning experience. Kanika ji, thank you.
Thank you so much, Antu ma'am.
Welcome.
It was really a very informative session. बस थोड़ा टाइम लिमिट हम लोग बस इसकी वजह से आपको परेशान करते हैं
नहीं मैम,
we don't have much time. 40 minutes की क्लास में it's just like an introduction class. बहुत डिटेल में हम लोग नहीं जा पाते.
बिल्कुल.
So even participants की भी regarding कोई query है तो they can put their query on the Telegram group or in the chat box. Now we are having a 10 minutes of break. So at 10:40 we'll meet again and we'll have a session on general topic, that is road safety by Neha Sharma, that is a faculty in our diet, Daryaganj. And thank you so much, Antu ma'am, once again. Thank you so much for your cooperation, ma'am.
Ma'am, your
Now we'll
presence
meet
gives
again.
me confidence.
Oh, same here, ma'am. Same here. Okay. Do fill the feedback performer. Please don't forget it. And we'll meet again at 10:40. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone. Nice meeting you as usual. See you tomorrow. Bye.